Hello, good evening. This is Princess Suri Widana coming to you live on Northern Unity page to talk to people about what is affecting our community in the northern part of Ghana today that we all need to add our voice. Whether it happened that women are the backbone of every economy in Africa, in the north, every household. I come today to ask everybody who happen to live in the north, women and women or men all, let's find a way to help one another in the north. What happened that the associations you guys have in your villages, your communities, let's find a way to help needed children when it comes to education, to send them to school, whether even it happened to be that we help them with a semester school fees. It's doable if we put our minds to it. All the market women, if you guys find a way that every year, whether you are the tomato seller, the Maggie Q seller, or whatever it is, we all can have association in the groups that we happen to be marketing in to sponsor children to go to school. Even if it happened that we pay a semester for a child, a needed child to go to school, it's doable. It's not everything that the government can come to our rescue right away. Let's find a common ground in our communities. There is a say that charity begins at home, and so do helping too. Let's find a way. All of us, each of us have this in us that we can put our hands together. Don't say you don't have much. If it happen that we'll go to the market square and ask for $1 donation or a 5 cedi donation. Let's put this money together at the end of every year, at the beginning of school year. You can find a child in your community which is so bright when it comes to education, academics, but the parents cannot help those children to go to school. Let's find a way that we can help children that are in need in this world. The reason why I'm saying some of these things is that there is no a place that the communities are neglected more than the northern communities. And in doing so, let's hold all our assembly members, the MPs, the ministers from our areas. Let's come out with a way that we have to hold everybody accountable on building the communities. Whether it happened that the leadership of the community will have to have an agenda, whether it's your program, what programs we have in our communities to give to your MPs, the ministers, the assembly members. The MP's job is to do networking when they are in parliament. And who is best suited to get children to get jobs than the MPs? So let's turn the youth employment to be part of the MP's jobs in the communities. Because when they go to parliament, they network with their fellow MPs and they know the ministers. So as I come today, my turn is to tell every community to have a brochure, to have your programs, your agenda, what you need from your MPs or the assemblyman. Every leader, every community leader should have a way that we have what they call employment in Ghana, whether it's the fire service, prison service, they have the police service, they have the military service, they have the military branch has about maybe 4 branches, they have the army, navy, air force, and then etc. and the marines. So let's hold these MPs accountable each year, even if they don't recruit children each year. But let's find it in a way that each MP, every term you have, if it is 4 years in Ghana, this 4 years, the MP has to come and approve. Show to the people that elect them into the parliament that in this community, whatever community the person is covering, these are the number of children I'm able, youth, to put into military. These are the number of youth I'm able to get into police service. These are number of children I'm able to get into the prison service to serve. These are the number of kids I'm able to get into water firefighters. These are number of people I'm able to get into customs, which is the immigration services or what it is, etc. Let's hold the MPs accountable. If we are to build our community, let's make sure we hold people accountable, and including ourselves. Let's make it in a way that we should take an oath to help our children. Today, if the Ghana government is telling your children, after they benefited from everything in Ghana, including our education and then the workforce, today, if they are telling the youth of Ghana today that they have no budget or workforce to employ them anymore, what are they telling you, the parents? Is to tell you, the parent, they are telling you indirect that no matter what you guys are doing, you will remain poor. Because they are not willing to hire your children to work. They are not even willing, if they don't have the job workforce. But education is no longer about job only. Education becomes survival of the fetus. Because when you have education, anything in this world is possible for you. When the government representatives become people that will go to crush your children's dream by telling them that they should go do businesses. School is no longer necessary. What are they telling you, the parent that voted them in place? Is to tell you guys that your life never mattered to them. Your vote doesn't matter. All that they need was your vote. As people of the country, your leadership is now failing your children. When the whole world, today, the world is turning to a small village that no matter what you do in this world, even when you have your own employment, self-employed, you still need education to do things in this world. Today, as I sit here in America and talk to you guys, there is not a place that you go to do anything without having any form of education. If you drive on the road, you're using GPS. And if you go in the highways, they have signs where you're going to exit. You have to have a form of education to be able to negotiate your way. Today, when you go to hospitals, it's no longer about someone sitting down writing your things for you. And soon, it's going to be in our various countries in the continent of Africa too. It's computerized, and you have to enter your own information. Everything you do in this world, you need education. And if a government cannot find solutions to our issues when it comes to education, being that you don't have the workforce, but you don't go out there to dash and crush the youth of your country hopes, which is wrong. No matter how you look at it, fellow countrymen and women in Ghana, it's your dreams that the leadership is failing. It's not your children. Today, schools are not free anymore in Ghana. You're paying for your children to go to school. And if it's anything at all, if they cannot say anything, they don't come on a platform that is encouraging children to get education. Whether you happen to be self-employed or whatever it is, you need education to survive. This world, today as we speak, everything talks to you. I'm sitting here, what I'm using even to warm my house during the cold winter months is have to have something to do with education. Even the car I'm driving today is no longer like a manual car. My car talks to you what to do. When you even driving, the car will come in English, take a rest, tell you to take a break. All these things, you need a form of education to be able to understand what the car is telling you. And if our leadership is coming out to tell your children that they no longer have a workforce or whatever, and what about the old people that are working, that need to be retired and not retired? Why not retire them? And today, if Ghana government can no longer employ people. And if Ghanaians' employment become bribery, children will go to school and qualify to the head, top-notch education, academics, and cannot get a job apart from bribing people. My fellow countrymen and women, the employment now become part of your MP's job. Let's give the MPs that job. Every year, they have a number of children that will come out of each community, each region, to join all these jobs that are in Ghana. Every year, you're supposed to retire people. And when the people are retired, you replace them with a new generation. And if the government cannot do that today, work in Ghana, to have a job in Ghana, it's about who you know. Let's stop distance. Let's try to build Ghana. Let's lift our communities up, the poor people, the way God gave you guys the chance to climb these ladders to be where you are today. I'll lift someone in your community. Today, let's all of us in Ghana turn youth employment to be part of the MP's job in Ghana. The reason why I say that, if you can go to every community that an MP is representing, find children that are well educated sitting there. Each village, if it's one child, have a list of your place that you're representing and give it to the MP. It's part of his job. The days of the MP coming to choose what they would do or putting their own people into what scholarship sentence, let's change it. Let's hold the MPs accountable in Ghana. Let's hold the leadership accountable in Ghana. When it comes to youth employment of education, we are to hold the leadership accountable. If they didn't have that free education and the building having the job, the building blocks, they won't be where they are today. If the finance minister of Ghana benefited from everything in Ghana, climbed his way, even to come to America for further education, to get the job he got, it was the Ghanaians that gave them these opportunities. Today, the future leaders of Ghana have been neglected, and people are not saying anything. What are you telling children today? Because you have no workforce, they should go sit at homes without studies? Yes, employment is hard everywhere these days. It's hard everywhere. But that doesn't mean that countries are going out telling their children, because we don't have employment, sit at home. Your education is no longer matter. We need education in this world. If Africa is to succeed in this world, we need the best of the best when it comes to education to compete in this world that we live in. Let's stop party politics. Let's stop division in Ghana. Let's find a common goal that can build that country to the where everybody will live peaceful in that country. Let's find a solution to put the youth into work. Today, see what the minister went and said at the graduation is to tell children to go and be stealing. Because if you don't have employment for your youth, doesn't mean that you should come to a place that people pay top money for their children to go to school. At the end of the school year, for you to be a keynote speaker in their graduation, to come and tell them that we have no payroll, so that go find businesses to do. There is something they call common sense, Mr. Minister. Why not start laying people off? Give people early retirement. And that's the reason why I say we need to give youth employment to the MPs of Ghana. Let them find the solution. If they are taking every penny out of your towns, your consequences, or whatever it is, let them be part of the solution when it comes to youth employment. Everybody, every MP that represents your area, the leadership in that community, you need to find a way to get your children list. The list of what you need in your community. Give it to the MP. This is what we require you to do. And the days of MP coming to tell you guys, I did this 2004. And 2020, they're still coming to show you what they did 2004 or 2010. It's no longer matter anymore. Every time they go to parliament, they get their package, retirement package. Every time you guys vote them in place, they gave them a retirement package. And if they're going to use the old things to show you guys for benefit they give your community, ask them, and what about the retirement benefit you guys got in 2005? What did you do with it? Let's hold them accountable. Let's make sure they do their job. If they are to spend our community money and turn our community wealth to be their wealth, let them work for it. Give your employment for your youth. Employment has become the MP's duty. That's part of why they are in parliament, to negotiate their way, what they call networking. Let the parliamentarians become the foot soldiers. They cannot become billionaires overnight in Africa, whereby the majority of Africans are poor and silent. And the little thing that they're supposed to do for the children become elusive. Fellow Africans, let's wake up. Father God will not forgive any of us. Mother Africa has suffered enough. Today, every child dream is to have education. If you're going to become an entrepreneur, you still need education. If you're going to become self-employed, you still need education. If you're going to become a successful businessman, you still need education. Instead of the government to be coming out with the way this Minister Kraft tell the kids, from now onwards, we need to find a solution to find a trade schools for children in Ghana. Whether it's self-employment, by the time you left school, you should be able to do something addition your degree. In case you have a job in the private sector, you can do it. If you get jobs in the civil service, you can do it too. No, that's not what they are telling them. They are telling them to forget about ever working in the government office. And if the Ghanaians that came before you guys didn't give you guys this opportunity, will you guys be where you are today? The answer is no. So let's go back to the grassroots. You know, some of these things make you, those that hated Rawlings so much. Today, we are looking for Rawlings, broad daylight with lanterns and flashlights. Whatever Rawlings said and did, it all come to see now. We are seeing it all. After just 1 year of this guy passing, we're looking for him. And today, when you come to talk, people come out to attack you. You dividing people, you doing this. What on earth in this world that you go and you claim you don't have money? And yes, certain part of the country is traveling. Roads are like smooth than concrete surface. Electricity, street lights everywhere. One half of the country, roads are turned to potholes, creeks, dams, and they don't give a damn about that. Let's wake up, Ghanaians, and think, what is the future hold for Ghanaians and the youth of Ghana? When it comes to our leadership, it's zero. We need to wake up to stand up, to defend our own constitution, to defend our right. Our civil rights are being violated in Ghana in any way you look at it. Whether it's the finance minister being a keynote speaker to tell Ghanaian children to dash your dreams and crush your dreams, to tell you guys that you are not supposed to be going to school. Let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, at the end of any dark tunnel, there is light. Don't lose hope. Education is the key to your success. Don't never give that up. Whether you are self-employed one day, whether you become a businessman one day, you need education. No matter how rich you are in this world, whether you can hire everybody to do your job, but you still able, you yourself still need to be able to go through your books and see whether your books are balanced well. You need education, a form of education to be able to read and write and understand numbers small. Let me tell you, life as we know it, my brothers and sisters, our mother's time or our father's time when they say school wasn't important. Today, from now onwards, we are in the 21st going towards the 22nd century, Everything you do in this world will be based on your knowledge in school. Even to use the washroom, bathrooms, you have to know a form of education. There are so many things that are going on in this world. And Africa, they cannot wait for us. We have catching up to do. No matter what it is, whether you are able to go to school or not, please try to finish high school. You need it. You need to be able to write and understand things and be able to do your business. And if you become an entrepreneur, you can be able to invent things, and you need numbers to be able to do well and come out with whatever you want to design. It's so sad. It's so sad to see what is happening in Africa, throughout the continent, when the leadership is no longer about Mother Africa and the children of Africa. The leadership today is about who can build their family wealth out of the Africans' money. It's so sad. And to make matters worse, we have majority of the parliamentarians are also in it for their pockets. Few believe in Mother Ghana. Let's stand up and hold these people accountable. Nobody is above the law. Let's hold and make sure they do the right thing. And I always say it and will say it again, everybody is in your house. But when it comes down, you divert community's wealth to become your wealth. You pay for it one day. Whether we like it or not, it doesn't matter what it is. Anything that does not belong to you, if you take it, you pay for it. So let's cheer our children up. And I come today to talk to mothers and fathers throughout our communities, whether it's the market women, those that do traders. You guys put your heads together. Go into your community. Any child that is well known, go to the schools. At the end of the year, SSS, find the children that are qualified and cannot pay to go to school. Pay for them to go. If we can show kindness to children earlier on, at the end of the day, those children, when they succeed, they also come back to our communities to help. Today we sit and watch one foreign people coming with NGO, and you guys are flogging, taking the NGO money into your pocket too. And forget, the NGOs is ordinary people that create them to help us. And we can also turn around and do the same thing in our communities. Why is it that the African doesn't know what charity work is? Let's open our hearts out there. Let's help one another. The backbone of every economy in Africa lay on women. And I know we can do it. And the men can do it too. Let's start supporting one another. If you market women, create your associations, whether it's the tomato sellers, the pepper sellers, the Nyadua people, the Magical people, you can form your associations together. At the end of the year, you go to the school and say, this market associations are sponsoring this child to go to university. God will bless you with more. Let's open our hearts out, fellow countrymen and women. Let's turn to charity. Let's learn how to help one another. Today, if we sit to wait for governments to come to our rescue, my brothers and sisters, it's your children that will be failed. Today, look at the Ghanaian schools. The days that you can take your GPA and come to school in the Western world is no longer there, because the schools are destroyed. Let's wake up. Who is sovereign? Those elite, from the MP to the minister to the assemblyman, all their kids are going to private schools. The best of the best. When they get scholarship, instead of them to look and give it to the poor people children, they choose their own people and put the scholarships in their hand. So they will continue, and the poor remain poor and poor and poor. Fellow countrymen and women, and we all families bled for Ghana? Are there someone more Ghanaian than all Ghanaians? No. And if the wealth of Ghana is to divide, let's make sure that it divide equal among Ghanaians. Let's not decide who can benefit due to their rankings in Ghana, due to whether they are MP. Let's hold these MPs accountable. Let's make sure we give them the list of what we want them to do in the areas that they represent. And if they cannot perform, you vote them out. Let's make sure the children get scholarship. And then you don't leave one village. You put all the area the MP is covering. If it's one child for a village, let's get it. If the whole community come together and select one person, let's get it for them to help. But the days of you guys sitting and watch these MPs divert every money you have in Ghana is over. Let's hold them accountable. Today as we speak, children's dreams were dashed overnight. How can you go to school every day, go to school, go to school? You went to school and finished. And your graduation ceremony, the minister is going to tell you that we have no employment. So you can go start some businesses. Well, common sense, Mr. Minister. And if you want those graduates to start businesses, why not give them some aid? Why not give them some student loans that they can use if you want them to do business? Why not also use common sense to find trade in place? Mr. Minister, why not start teaching Ghanaian children IT? Let them do computer science at the early on. Today, the whole world, without computers, we don't exist anymore. Let them learn how to build robots, just like what Indians did, the Chinese are doing. They're doing it in America, here in Europe. Let's focus. The African child is not stupid than any child. The African child is intelligent as their counterpart. It's just that they don't give them the recognition in their various countries to uplift them. The most academical excellence kids in Africa are the poor people children. And yet, guess what happened? Because they are poor, we are poor, our children never able to get to their potential. And how do we turn this thing around? If we poor people will elect MPs to go to parliament, and then the president, is we the poor people duty to make sure they are held accountable, to make sure they do the right things, to make sure if they have scholarships, they should not hide and give it to their people. Shared according to the town who voted you in place. And from today onwards, countrymen and women, the days MP come to tell you, I have been there two terms in parliament. This is what I did the first time. Every time you vote MP in place, let them show you what they did, the term you voted them. The days coming to show you they build this, is long gone. If we are to do politics, let's do politics the right way. If we are to believe in democracy, let's hold these leaders accountable. It's no longer accepted for children of the world to be thinking about dreams of building an electric car, building a flying cars due to education. And we, the people of Ghana, is sitting for your finance minister to tell your children that their school is no longer matter anymore, whereby they benefited the best education that Ghana ever offered with Ghanaian money, taxpayer money, put you through school. Today you coming to tell the youth of Africa, the youth of Ghana, which the future lays on, for them to dash their dreams and become businessmen and women. Mr. Minister, you have to be ashamed of what you just said. So I come today to tell you guys, let's each of us stand up. All of us have a duty and obligation to our children in our community. No child was born to say that I'm proud to become an armed robber. No child. It's just the negligence of the leadership that turns some of, just like what the guy just said to the graduates. What graduate will sit there? What money do you want them to use for the business? Their teeth? You telling them to go rob people and start businesses. It's indirect. That's what this guy just said. Let's wake up and realize that they have gotten it and their children has gotten it and they're already still enough. They don't give a jack about what your child did. And you are the one that putting them into that place. And if we are to talk about African issues, Ghana issue, the black issues, it has to start at home. We ourselves are to be blamed because we are the ones that are taking shady deals, taking money out of these people's pocket for them to continue to do what they are doing to your children. You deserve it all. I'm sorry to say this. Ghanaians deserve it. When you see the writing in front of you, you say it's not right. What is development? What is things that make countries to go forward? Those buildings that they built during the former President John Dramani time, the E-blocks and all that, those people that didn't have jobs, the construction workers and all that, it was part of jobs. Economy was booming. At least they could go build those things and make money. Today, the money has been diverted to different areas. And when you talk, people come to accuse you. You're supporting NDC or whatever. I don't support any party in Ghana. Whatever party take Ghana to the future in the bright flying colors is what I stand for. I can't even vote in Ghana. Ghana is my birthplace. I'm an American citizen. But as a child that was born and raised in Ghana, as a descendant of the Suru Widana, I have the right to talk about Ghanaian issues. I still have extended family over there. So if the children of Ghana fail today, it's all of us. I'm sitting here and I'm paying children's school fees in Ghana. I'm sitting here and I'm contributing to the Ghanaian community, economy. So if they are neglecting children, I have children as a mother of 3 kids. I give up everything to make sure my children succeed than myself sitting here. As a mother, I want every mother to have the same dream I have for my children. I want every father to have the same dreams I have for my children. How do we get this dream to become reality? It's to hold people accountable. And that's what is being neglected in Ghana. When you start taking this shady, bright money in corners, when someone can call you and tell you what they can offer you and you'll forget about tomorrow, it's your children that you're forgetting about tomorrow. Life is no longer about us. It's about our children. Today, our time has pretty much, like, even though we may not accept it, come to pass. We have lived life 4 decades, going to 5 decades. So any child today is the future leader. And those are the reason why I'm talking. The poverty in Africa is not accepted. If it's not a fair leadership, how can this continent that have the wealthiest continent in this planet, and yet Africa is the poorest continent? How on earth? You look at it and say, why so? Why is it that the wealthiest continent is the poorest continent? And when you look at distance, you get to Ghana, you get to Africa, and you see so many children who are supposed to be doing well. Whether it's school, they call it school feeding in Ghana, and then people turn this school feeding to be money-making thing. They do anything for the children. Some people, they don't give a damn and they don't believe in. You know, the people that don't believe in God is Africans. I will say today, anyone that we still have God-fearing people among us, but majority of Africans don't believe in God. We may be Muslim, Christians, whatever denomination we belong to, but deep inside, we do not believe in God. Because if you believe in God, what on earth will you milk a child so that you can become wealthy? What on earth will you divert children food they're supposed to eat? As a mother, go sit in a school park to sell food that they pay you to do, and you do anything that you want to do in the name of money. Do we believe in God? The answer is no. To me, Africans, we curse ourselves. God didn't curse us. God gave us the best planet, the best continent in this planet. It's we Africans, our own doom, because of our behavior. We never want someone to pass you. When you see someone do, and all these people, ministers, MPs, they are part of the same thing. Because of our greediness, we never get anywhere. If you get to somewhere in life, if you want your wealth to succeed in this world, for your great-grandchildren to see it, try to help family members to also stand on their own. So their burden don't come and sit on top of you. But when we sit and try to hold everything to ourselves, we don't want to help anyone so that they can call our name. Your wealth will only last during your generation. After that, it's gone. Let's find a way to help people to stand on their feet so that their load do not come on top of you. You ought to have your children to take care of. If we could change our mindset of helping each other, if we change our mindset to uplift one person in that community, maybe one day, this poverty level that is overwhelming every African community, Ghanaian communities, the poverty will be eradicated. Please, I sit here talk with a pain, with a heavy heart. It's not the hate of anybody. I have no haterism in me. But if Africa succeed in this well, every human being succeeded. If Ghana do well, it's all of us that do well. Today, you sitting down, the negligence was the schools. Kids failed last year, children. Majority of them failed their final examination. And the parents that don't have anything still going to go out there, find money to send the kids back to school. And then you, the finance minister, should go tell those mothers and fathers that are struggling to send their kids to school, they should go do business instead of thinking about civil servants. You're wrong. And you are a disgrace. When you were sick, they took you around the world with Ghana money to fix you. Why not give those poor children chance to? It's so sad. It's so sad. It's like when I sleep at times, I can't sleep. I think about all these things. And I'm like, why is it that the black man and woman, majority of us cannot have it in our heart to lend a hand, to extend your hand to a needed person? I woke up today and I said, let me come out. The backbone of Africa lay on every woman. We are the one that is thriving Africa. When it comes to market everything, let's put our heads together. My fellow women, you can uplift a poor child who is well-to-do child when it comes to academics, and the parents cannot afford for them to go to school. Even if we are to draw a well for these children to sign, let's help them. I say it again and I say my Princess Suri Foundation, Widana Foundation, in future, that's all that I'll do. Help one child, even if it's a semester, to get into university. It's our duties. If we are to get out of poverty, we need to look past our own families. Willing to help someone for 1 cedi or 5 cedis. Let's look past that. If it is the market that we can go. I even say that every chief, like a Wa chief, the king of Wa, the overlord, could have education fund on Northern University, the UDS. And each year you have number of children that you can send into that school. It's helping the community to get bigger too. So let's come out with ways. If these politicians have been failing us, it's we, the ones that are making them to fail us. If we want them to succeed, and if we want our communities to succeed, we have to have a blueprint. You just don't put someone into parliament without having rules in place. You have to. As the people, the government is for the people and by the people. You have to hold them accountable. Let each village start having a blueprint what you require the parliamentarian to do in your village. Let's hold them accountable for the youth employment in Ghana. It's so sad to see this wealthy continent, and yet everything that are surrounding this continent, including the children of the continent, all that we know through the world is poverty and disgrace, and some people disrespect. Why is it so? It's because of the failed leadership in Africa. And when the leaders come in, they will find people to protect them. Even if it happened that they're giving half of the wealth of that continent to other people, they're willing to do that so they can stay in power. God will not forgive us. Any African that will say God has cursed us, God will curse you 3 times. God will not curse Africans, black Africans, and put us in the continents we are. Think. When you go to bed today, I want people to lay down and think. Do your numbers well. Do you really think God hated Africans to put you in where you are today? The answer is no. The wealthiest continent in the whole entire planet is Africa. If you guys don't know, sit and think. Think. And we've been there. Africa was the center of attention. Our forefathers did it, and mothers. The pharaohs were black Africans. I sit here with the pharaohs of Ramses III bloodline with my father. And father. So let's not forget who we are. Today, wealth we chase is not going to take us anywhere. We're all going to die and leave this wealth. Do something. The limited time we have in this planet, do something. One day that you can sit or lay in your grave and be proud that I contribute my part when I was in this planet. Let's not all of us turn to greed. Let's not all of us turn to say, if the leadership don't care, I don't care either. God put us here for a reason. And we are sisters and brothers keepers. We are each other keepers. And when it come to Africa building, we were able to do it. Rawlings came and opened everybody. I'm one of the children that the only president I know in Ghana was Rawlings. He let us to know that nobody will fight for you but yourself. Let's fight for ourselves. Let's willing to share. Let's do something in our communities. Every community need a blueprint for your parliamentarian. Whoever represents you, if it's police service, let's make sure that they bring those children to the services. Today, you go to Ghana, any work you want, you pay money, and you don't even get the job. That's the saddest part. Everything is become money in Ghana. If the government was to be like that those days, today, you the ones that are sitting there taking bribe from people, will you be there? Because your parents didn't have it. Let's change our way, black Africans. Let's change our way. The way we are is our doom. The way we are is why Africa is failing. We don't believe in God. No. That one I will say it today and say it tomorrow. No, majority of Africans does not believe in God. Hitting your forehead on the ground does not make you a believer. Going to church does not make you a believer. Going to a temple does not make you a believer. It's what is in your heart. And God himself said, if you can help my children in this world, you're doing my job. And that's what is missing in African communities. My brothers, when I say some of this thing, it's with a heavy heart, with sadness to see this vast continent. When you say land, we have it, everything, we have it in Africa, the people, the youth, and yet the leadership is not having any agenda. They don't have any blueprint where the Africa come from and where we're supposed to go. They don't have it. Everybody come in and do whatever they want and take and take and take. One day, enough will be enough. Let's find a common ground and solution to African issues. Where did Mother Africa come from? Yes, 500 years of slavery. Let's go back. How did we get to slavery? It's work for leadership of Ghana to think. What led Africa to slavery? How can we keep ourselves from slavery? How can we take Mother Africa to the future and making sure that Africans are able to benefit from Mother Africa wealth? The blueprints are not there. Every day somebody come. It's just like the Edward chief is talking about the e-blocks, and the president came and said if he can wait that he can go fix it. Mr. President, they voted you in place by the people and for the people. And if the chief says something, if he cannot say anything nice, but you don't come and sit, Mr. President, and disrespect him. He's a chief, he's a leader. And don't forget, Africans were ruled by monarchs. That includes my forefather. And when my forefather died, it was announced in Iberian Peninsula and Eurasia those days. So let's not turn to what modern world issues and try to disrespect our leadership. Let's think, and maybe this is part of our suffering in Africa, because everything that Mother Africa ever stand for, we throw it all away. Our elders are no longer elders. Community has no longer values. A community leader will say something, some will go behind him to go collect money and say, don't worry, when you come, we'll do this and that. What do you guys think we are doing to each other? We're damaging the core that makes us who we are. Till we put greed in Africa aside and realize Africans, what Africa has stand for, what African beliefs were, till we put all this greediness aside and go back to Mother Africa to pray for forgiveness, to have elders in communities that say things and people don't betray them, till we go back to those days. My fellow Africans, we are a net to the bottom. Nobody, we should not point fingers at Europeans. It's not Europeans' issues, it's we Africans' issues. Europeans willing to lend you guys money and you come back and hide them in their banks. Europeans are going there for NGOs, giving things, and you turn around, put them in your stores and sell. Whose fault it is? It's we, the Africans' fault. Look at the countries that are still ruled by monarch in the Arabian continent. They are well to do. Go to Dubai, Arabia, all those areas that are ruled by monarchs. They're doing well. Today, this division in Ghana, one always want to become the elite. It's been the downfall of Ghana from the Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He was overthrown and exiled due to this greediness. Fellow Africans, if we don't wake up and get our priorities straight, this brainwash and always want to be bigger than someone is going to let us to the 21st or 22nd century new slavery. We all have to wake up. We may not want to hear the truth, but the reality is that Africa, if Africans don't wake up to realize what led Africa to slavery 500 years ago, what led us to division, Africa is going to go back into the new century of slavery. Is yet waiting for us. Let's wake up, because everything that we are doing today is always been against Mother Africa. Everything. Our religion is out of the roof. Our belief system is out of the root. The food we eat is out of the root. Our own food, free range food, nothing is, any item African is always bad for the Africans. Even our own clothes. I remember one day I watched a video about Kenyan parliamentarian. This brother dressed the finest African clothes. And then his fellow parliamentarians say he dressed too African. Meanwhile, he's sitting in the African continent, in the African parliament. For God's sake, Mother African children, get it in your head. You are African. You can never change to be anything but African. It's sad. It's so sad. As much that it hurt me to talk about some of these things, but the reality is that we are to talk about them. At times, I even feel like I don't want to do any video. Today, I wake up sobbing this morning. I was tearing like crazy, like somebody just died. Even though I lost my cousin yesterday, which is Mary Jo Boy, the queen mother of Nokore. I cried like I lost someone. And may she rest in peace. I was just so sad. This sadness come over me when I think about African issues. I start crying. And my husband have to tell me, listen, if you continue to cry every time you think about Africa, you get yourself sick. I don't know why. I ask questions. Why is it that I have so much sorrow when it comes to the suffering? Why is it that I feel the weight of Africa on my shoulders? I don't understand it. And the more I pray to my forefathers, ancestors, and God, the more I feel it more around me. And I realize it's my destiny. I cannot run from it. I cannot run from it. It's what I was born to do. You know, when I was little, people would tell me that we done it the first, your forefather, and I didn't understand it as a child. Today, I start understanding that. Maybe some of these things I will say, I will call my friends and say, I'm not even going to do video anymore. But the sadness of Africa, where we are, where we have been, what Africa has been through, this sadness, and the children of Africa tend to beg us every corner of this world, the disrespect of Africans, black Africans, in our own continent and throughout the world. It saddens me so much. Anytime I think about it, the continent that is the wealthiest continent is becoming the laughing stock in the world. How so? If it is not because of our failed leadership, the greediness of Africans themselves, and they believe that anything African is no good for African. That's why we are where we are today, my fellow brothers and sisters, and mothers and fathers. Let's wake up before it's too late. Stand up for your children. Let's hold these politicians accountable. Your children's jobs become the politician's job from the villages. Even if it is one child per a year, per MP child, let's hold them accountable. And then when they get any scholarships, let's make sure it's not the wealthy children that get them. Make sure the poor children get the scholarships. I come today because of this. My brothers and sisters, I'm doing it for all of us. And anyone that believes in this dream that I have, help me share the dream by sharing my video. Help me join the page. Let's stand together. Maybe if I get more people, every year we can add 5 Ghana cedis together and sponsor a child to go to school. That's my dream. I'm not being paid by anybody. People used to curse me that I was paid by John Dramani Mahama, the former president. No. I believe in Ghana. I believe in Africa. I believe in Mother Africa. And I believe in children of Africa. I was a child of Africa too. And I know what poverty feels. And I know how it is to be cut off. And your voice doesn't matter. So I become self-loyal to lend my voice to the unspoken for. I become an activist to fight for the injustice in Africa, especially in Ghana. It's so sad. It's so sad to see the wealthiest continent. Children are going through what we are going through throughout the world. It's so sad. So I come today because of this. Let's join hands, my fellow women. Let's have associations in your market squares. Use the money, go to the schools, find a child to sponsor. Your name will be written in history that this market people send a child to school. Please, we can do it, and it's doable by the grace of God. Amen. Thank you.